Hi, I'm Bettina Bushimi with Day Air Credit Union.
And I'm Don Schweitzer with Day Air Credit Union.
Well, today we're going to talk about savings tips.
You know, one of the things we say is that you really need to have a financial goal set for yourself, maybe even multiple financial goals. And it's truly important for you to do that. You really need to write them down. They are the driving force behind everything you want to accomplish. And by choosing to save, you help yourself achieve those financial goals.
Well, not only can you achieve your financial goals by saving, but you also can be ready for some financial emergencies, because they do happen. Life happens.
And you know what? We all are somewhat impulsive when we want to buy something, right? So part of saving is delaying that gratification, because if you don't, there's a cost involved. And it might be some cost as far as lending. It also might be a cost as not achieving one of your goals.
So if you don't choose to save, you have the opposite effect. You're not going to be ready for a financial emergency, and you're not going to meet your goals.
You know, Bettina, why don't we define saving? So essentially, saving is all about putting money aside now for some time in the future.
Well, so Don, if I want to save 40% at Kohl's this weekend, I could get those new shoes.
You know, that's a good thing, Bettina, but that's not truly saving. Unless, of course, you put that 40% and you put it into your savings account.
So I would just be spending less, not actually saving money.
Correct.
All right, well, let's talk about some types of savings accounts. You know, we all need to save. Most of us start small, and we're looking for just a regular savings account where we can hold our money until that future use comes along.
And you know, savings, you're actually loaning your bank or credit union the money. So what do? When you're loaning people money, you get interest, so they pay you interest on it. And so another way of saving is having something or a savings account with a specific purpose in mind. For example, you might have a Christmas club, or you might have a vacation account.
I think it's important to really research too and check out what kind of savings accounts that your institution offers to you. I don't want to pay a monthly fee if I only have $100 to save and the minimum is $250 to keep it free of charge, right?
Correct.
So I want to check out what are the fees associated with the account that I'm looking at. You also might want to save towards the future. Now, of course, you have the specific purpose, like you said, Dawn, but you might say, wait a minute, I've got a longer term goal that I want to go for, like purchasing a vehicle. I want a down payment. So I might choose a certificate of deposit where I can keep my money for a certain amount of time, 6 months, a year, and then when I'm really ready for that down payment, that's when I take the money out.
You know, they have money market accounts out there, and I'm not talking about investment money market accounts, but at most banks or credit unions, they do have a money market. And the way that kind of works is that you have a higher minimum balance requirement, and because they know you're going to keep a larger balance, they're going to pay you a higher rate of interest.
Well, one of the most important things you can do for yourself as far as savings is get a retirement savings going as soon as possible. Don and I are getting kind of that age where we're getting closer and closer. But if you have loved ones that you can tell, start saving now for your retirement. Take advantage of whatever your employer might match as well. If an employer is going to match 5%, put 5% in so that you get that full amount.
And we're talking 401k, IRA, whatever retirement vehicle you would choose.
So let's hit another few tips for savings. Set that goal, and it has to be super important to you. It's got to be more important than driving by a coffee place and picking up a coffee, so that you remember every time to keep that goal in front of you.
You know, another way to write that down would be to name your savings accounts, and most places will allow you to do that. For example, you know that trip to Italy you want? Name it, Italy trip. Every time you look at your statement, well, guess what? You've written down your goal and you keep it in front of your face. What about Christmas account? We've already talked about that. And Bettina, what about that 2018 Camry you want? Name it, that 2018 Toyota Camry.
That's where I need to be putting my money, right? Not only those kinds of things, but Dawn, you're kind of practical. So I know that you do savings accounts for things like car repairs, home repairs. Those don't become surprises all of a sudden. You have prepared for them and you're ready to pay for them right now because you've put money away.
And you know, you already mentioned about having an emergency fund. One of the things they say is you should have about 6 months worth of savings in an emergency fund in case something happens, like, well, maybe you fall down and break your leg or you're laid off from work.
All right, and then you can think about restricting your access, and that's something that I definitely need to do sometimes for myself. So don't have ATM access to any of your savings accounts. Perhaps, like we said, put it in a certificate of deposit so it's locked away.
And one of the easiest ways of doing that is check with your employer, direct deposit, set it and forget it. And a lot of employers will allow you to divide it up between your checking and multiple savings. So check that out.
Well, one of the things you could do, and I've done it quite a bit in my past, garage sale. Get rid of unneeded items, things that are just sitting around, I don't know, an exercise bike, maybe a treadmill, and put that money into savings rather than spending it. Put it towards something you really need or want.
You know what else you can do, and I've seen this done by many, many people, is save your loose change. That adds up fast, faster than what you would think. In fact, there was a senior VP at Day Air a long time ago who would not only save his change, but also would save his dollar bills. Any dollar bill he got, he would put into this jar. He would use that for savings for his vacation. He'd have thousands of dollars by the end of the year.
Pretty cool. You know, one of the things I'm hearing lately, and that's when we're taping this right now, it happens to be tax day, and a lot of people wait for that tax refund to spend immediately on something they think they need right away. But I tell you, if you could put that tax refund or any windfall, a bonus you get at work, maybe a gift from a loved one, put that away and really plan for its use later.
You know, one of the other things you can do is not spend as much maybe on things like cable, maybe things like, instead of buying a book, you go use the library. Internet access, right? You can go to the library as well, and they have all sorts of computers there that have got internet access ready and waiting for you.
I heard about the 24-hour rule, and that is no matter what you're thinking about buying, especially if you're buying online, Amazon's kind of easy. Any place is easy to buy from these days. So 24 hours, make yourself really think about it and make a decision if you're really going to buy it tomorrow.
Another way you can cut expenses is by taking your lunch and making your own coffee. So that's a choice you would have to make. You can save a lot of money by taking your lunch and making your own coffee instead of getting that Mocha Mint double chocolate latte like you do every day.
You can also save time and money by going to the grocery store. Stick to the list. Make your plan of your meals for the week and stick to the list. Of course, every grocery store has sales where you're going to save money, but if you're really looking for your ingredients, and then think about doubling up the recipe, save yourself some time and money by putting something in the freezer for later.
You know, there's a way to force yourself to save. Several ways to force yourself to save. One of them is using your debit card. In fact, we here at Day Air call that Save the Change. How does that work, Bettina?
So, well, you're using it because I go to the gas station, use my debit card to get my gas. I'm the lady that you see that puts $20.01 in her tank. I can't get it to stop at 20. But what I love about it is 99 cents then goes over to my savings account. So it rounds up the money to the next dollar and actually forces some savings on me. I was pretty excited when I looked at my statement and saw some extra $15 there.
So, you know, many of you probably have some sort of rewards card at a local grocery store, similar to Kroger's. And you know, on the receipt it says, you just saved $17.33. Take that $17.33 and put it into your savings account.
And Dawn already mentioned this is one that I do for myself. I don't even realize I'm saving I just automatically transfer it as soon as my direct deposit comes in.
So in summary, we want you to remember choosing to save equals achieving your financial goals.
So being ready for financial emergencies. If you choose to save, you'll be ready for a financial emergency at any time.
And the one I like the most, choosing to save equals being in control.
And you reduce your need to borrow. You can save credit for when a really big ticket item is coming up.
My name is Don Schweitzer. I'm with Day Air Credit Union.
And I'm Bettina Bushimi with Day Air.
Thanks for listening.